wanted to do a quick demonstration on the emotional power and impact of music in a movie type of situation. And so this could be during dialogue or during action, putting in some crazy sound effects. Such as this can really make an impact in a movie. But I wanted to I just thought of this idea to illustrate some of the emotional effects that can be achieved with actual melodic music underneath dialogue. And so right now what I'm doing, you could call this dialogue, right? I'm just speaking, it's just a monologue. But guess what? If I do something like this, it kind of changes the whole tone of how I sound when I'm speaking to you, right? And if I do something like this, it kind of makes you feel a certain kind of way when it goes from note to note like that. And does the dialogue necessarily match what the music is doing? Well, it kind of doesn't have to. Because at the end of the day, the music is sort of in control of that emotional feeling of the moment. And so I could very drastically shift between different emotions here and just keep talking the same way I've been doing. And now all of a sudden it sounds like I'm giving like a eulogy at somebody's funeral, right? And now we've just changed subject. And I could just keep talking, I could just keep going all day long. And you might not notice it, but the music that I'm playing here is actually in complete control of your brain right now. Because if you didn't know, the human brain can only focus on one thing at a time. And so your brain is not actually processing the music and the dialogue as separate entities, and do they match, and what pitch is this one and what pitch is that one. You're just sort of in a stream of consciousness mode right now. You're sort of in the moment. You're not in the past, you're not in the future, you're just sort of right here with me, feeling sort of sad now because we've gone back to minor chords. But your brain doesn't know the difference. It kind of hacks your brain a little bit. It feels the emotion. And that's just all there is to it. But the same thing also works for positive emotions. But even though I said positive emotions, I played another minor chord, and you probably felt a little bit scared right there, right? But so I haven't changed my tone at all. But just because I'm playing these chords here in the exact same tone of voice, now you're starting to feel a little bit more uplifted. Like we're in maybe a movie about like a little child, and he was the last picked in gym, but now we see him at the end of the movie, and he's inspired, and he's impressing all of his friends with his amazing skill. And we've seen this poor little kid that was just downtrodden, and now he's just on fire, and he's doing better than ever. And we're just, your eyes almost will well up with tears hearing something like this, with a scene like that. And that's the power of music right there, folks. The power of being able to sort of hijack your brain and make you feel things that you didn't really know you could feel, probably. And you can imagine if you put this underneath of a really good actor with really great tone control, which I am not, then it's a double whammy, right? It's a double dose of that power and that emotional impact. And that's the power of music right there. And so I would challenge everybody out there, if you're listening or watching some movies and just flip randomly through the, seven, 800s in your Fios box and whatnot, and just put on some movie that you wouldn't normally watch and just listen to the music and think about what kind of emotion they're going for there. And I guarantee you, within 5 seconds of like watching that movie and tuning into it, you will start to feel that way. And that's also kind of the scary thing about movies and Hollywood, especially because we have discussed in the past on this channel, on this very show, about the power of manipulation and the power of persuasion when it comes to not only music, but movies as well. And so if you're interested in more about that, check out the 4th of July special that we did. And that show was basically about musical propaganda. And we did a whole thing on the national anthem and about the emotion and the story and the feeling of that song in particular. But not only that, but lots of other music throughout history. And the government and Hollywood have actually been pretty good friends. And they got together specifically for this reason, to try and sway people's opinions on political topics. So also, don't be closed-minded when you're flipping through those random movies. Pay attention to what the director and what the composer, pay attention to what they want, pay attention to how they want you to feel during which situation, if that makes sense. Are they making you feel happy about something that would ordinarily be spooky or disturbing? Or vice versa? Are they making you feel bad about something that's generally good, good behavior? I'm like fascinated with that kind of stuff. And this all goes into programming and, neurolinguistic programming, and of course, the musical programming.